तो थोड़ा उसको ये कर लेंगे. We will revise a bit. कल जो चीज हुआ था, I think for both of you and Anjali's benefit. With Lokesh was there yesterday, so there are still 2 people left, na? So Harsh is not here, and Yashvi has still to start. Yashvi अब तक आई नहीं है हम लोग के क्लास में. Okay. तो आप लोगों को याद है, this is specifically for Anjali and Hardik. Do you remember where we were when we last took class on 12th? क्या पढ़ रहे थे हम लोग उस समय?
Sir, single product company risk था, business level diversification and corporate level diversification. Last one.
Excellent. चलो ठीक है. So I will, let me just. Let me just share the PPT and then we'll start. Achha, at the end of today's class, maybe when there are 20-30 minutes left, we will have a small quiz. We will have a small quiz which will cover these areas. Those areas which we did and those areas which we will touch upon today. This whole thing, we will, the quiz is there. It's a simple quiz. The idea of the quiz is that you get a chance to once again think about some of the things जो क्लास में हुआ था. उसके बारे में एक बार सोचने का मौका मिलेगा और maybe it will be more enjoyable with the quiz there. So, like Hardik was saying, our last, on the 12th, we had basically said, Achha, Anjali, tell me one thing. What is the benefit in diversification? Why does a company diversify?
Sir, a company diversify because to manage its risk and to minimize its risk and to maximize its profit.
Very good, very good. We made a distinction between business level diversification, in which we said that it remains more or less in the same horizontal, in the same area, and corporate level, where we said that in the diversification, they switch to a completely different product. So that was one main difference in this strategy. As Anjali said, the basic idea is to mitigate the risk and at the same time to find other avenues of profit. Now we are starting with this part, business models. We had, I think, on the 12th, we had mentioned that business model basically, I'll go a little fast because otherwise it will be very boring for location. So I'll try to step up the speed and focus on those areas where something maybe new for you is being covered. So the first concept was in a business model, it will give you answers to the basic questions. ये company कौन सी product बनाएगी, कौन से market में ये बेचेगी इसको, कौन से रॉ मटेरियल यूज करेगी, इसमें ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज किस तरह के होंगे, मार्केटिंग और सेल्स का स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होगा, ये सारी चीजें जो है यू बिगिन टू फील इन द, यू अंडरस्टैंड इन द केस ऑफ इन द बिजनेस मॉडल. इफ एनी ऑफ यू एवर स्टार्ट योर ओन कंपनी, you will have to sit down and answer these questions with respect to your company. कि आप जो भी करना चाहेंगे, is it really possible? You will have to, when you answer all these questions, automatically you will begin to get an idea about whether it is possible for you to do the business you are thinking of doing or not. Now, we came to this point about value proposition. And in value proposition, we said that a value proposition is basically a concise statement of the value that a company offers through goods and services. See, people are paying for your for whatever you are selling, whether it is a service or whether it is some goods. The point is, what do they benefit by buying services or goods from you? The value proposition is supposed to tell you that. So in the case of services, you can look at that Amazon mission. That is a very good example of a value proposition. He also said that the value proposition is a critical marketing tool and it has three components. Number one, it is addressing a particular target audience. You have to be very clear which part of the population is actually going to buy your product. If you are not clear about this, it is difficult for you to sell it. Everyone will not buy your product. There will be only a small fraction of the population who may be interested in your product, and you have to look at that part. The other big question is, what is the specific value that your product offers? It can be best quality, it can be the lowest price, it can be best design, it can be anything. But basically, there has to be something very specific. And third part is, are you able to connect with your customers? In a good value proposition, you should be able to connect with your customers also. So today, when we reach that part, I will show you with some companies. Somebody, I think, has, can you please mute yourself? Okay, now it's fine. So that was one. I gave you the example of Phenol-X pipes, in which we will not repeat the example, but I'm sure you remember that the main point was that they are selling to target market is commercial and residential complexes. And I missed one point in this. They also sell irrigation pipes. So the agriculture sector is also a big, one of the groups which they are targeting. What is the specific value? Basically, they are the best quality pipes. Customer connections, they normally build through presentations and the way they present, the image they build about themselves as being a very good, reliable company. And then we talked about these different business models. So we said about direct sales, where you look at companies like Eureka Forbes, this is not available in the market. Normally what happens is they visit you and they sell this to you. So I remember when I bought my first vacuum cleaner from Eureka Forbes, it was basically the sale was made at my home. So they visit people and they do it like that. Then we spoke about franchising, McDonald's, Subway. So what is happening here? Somebody finds a good a business model. He sells the business model to these people. You pay a license fee to that person and you are allowed to use his brand. So McDonald's, let's say it is originally it's starting from America. तो जो बंदे मैकडोनल्ड्स को अमेरिका में शुरू किए थे वो इंडिया आके तो नहीं चलाएंगे और ये वर्ल्ड में जितने जगह मैकडोनल्ड्स है वो वैसे नहीं चलाएंगे वो क्या करेंगे they will teach those people their entire business how to actually sell burgers वो अपना सिखा दिए और उससे काम इनका चल जाता है and they are paid for that. So that is another model. The other is this subscription model. So like YouTube Premium is a very good example. You go for a subscription and you are allowed to use that facility. Another simple example will be if you go for Office 365. If you use Microsoft and you don't want to use pirated software, so you can subscribe to Office 365, you pay them annual fees, and you get the entire range of Microsoft products available for you, and you will never have any trouble with the product. So for example, I have an Office 365 subscription. I pay them every year. And as a result of that, I'm able to use all the products which Microsoft has. So that is a subscription model. So that was one. Some companies, they combine a physical shop with an online shop. So that is generally known as bricks and clicks. That was one point. And then you have this concept of a freemium model. So this again, you can see YouTube Premium is subscription model. YouTube is a freemium model in the sense that anybody is free to go and view the content on YouTube. They will not stop you. They will not ask for a password, login ID, nothing. But where do they get their revenue? They are getting the revenue from advertising. लोग जो हैं YouTube में advertise करेंगे, जो वीडियो आप देखना चाहेंगे उसके शुरू में जो है you will find that there is a ad, and if the video is very long, so in between at different points, suppose एक music album है और वो 1-1.5 घंटे का album, तो अगर आप वो सुन रहे हैं तो बीच-बीच में you will find that they will stop the song and they will go for a advertisement. So that becomes, they are getting revenue from there. So that is a freemium model. So YouTube is doing both. Freemium bhi chal raha hai, subscription bhi chal raha hai. Okay. Now we come to something which will be a repetition for Lokesh, but which for Anjali and Hardik, this is going to be your first attempt at this. So in today's world, when a lot of the selling that is done, buying and selling, is basically on a digital marketplace. So you are not actually going to a shop, you are viewing the goods of the shop in your sitting on your laptop or on your mobile, and based on whatever you are seeing there, you are placing orders and it is being delivered to. Now, so e-commerce is the buying and selling of goods and services over a digital and electronic network. Now, the total amount of business which is expected from e-commerce is going to be $111 billion by 2024. So that is the reason why e-commerce business models become very important. So let's start with the concept of a B2B business. What is B2B? Anjali and Hardik? B2B.
Business to business model.
Business to business model. Very good. So two businesses, one is a buyer, one is a seller. They are connecting on a marketplace, on an electronic marketplace, and there they are, the transaction is held there. Now, in the case of businesses, the examples are like indiamart.com or industrycard.com. If you go there, you can place wholesale orders, you can get quotations. So it's a classic B2B model. Now, in India, there is one legal aspect to be noted. The entity that is running the marketplace cannot be one of the sellers. Let's say Amazon is running a marketplace. Amazon cannot sell its own goods. Amazon is expected only to be a place where the buyers and sellers can connect with each other. That is the basic idea. The other is B2C, business to consumer, but inventory based. That means these people are actually, it is like a virtual shop, the same shop which you are going to in a physical way, brick and mortar shop. But basically this one, it is happening on a digital level. So in this model, the seller sells to anyone who comes to his website and places an order. How is it different from Amazon? In Amazon, lots and lots of sellers will be there. And the buyers will have a selection of, they can choose, if they are buying one product, there may be many suppliers, they can choose any. But in which case, the suppliers are all competing with each other. Now, I had given this example. Yesterday, we had looked at this also in detail, but today maybe it will not be possible to do this here. Otherwise, it will take too much time. But what I suggest is that after this class, please go to this site, shopify.com. So what does Shopify.com do? If you go there, it allows you to create your own website. You can create your website in Shopify, and Shopify will help you with the marketing. It will help to make your website more popular. And buyers who visit your site will then be able to buy the goods that you are selling on that website. So basically, it is allowing you to sell your goods to a certain batch of consumers, but you are not doing it on a place like Amazon where you are competing with other sellers. You are doing it here. So this is another model. Now, in a B2C model, inventory based, to attract people to the site, you will have to have your own marketing. You will have to have your own marketing so that people understand that you are available and you are supplying a particular type of goods. So one example can be Lenskart. Have any of you used Lenskart? No. Hardik, aap Lenskart?
No, sir.
You have not used. What does Lenskart sell? Iska idea hai?
Specs, sir.
Specs. You know that. Now, how do you know it?
Advertisement.
Advertisement. So both of you sitting in different parts of the country, you are aware that Lenskart is actually selling specs and they have a range of products. So if you want to buy from Lenskart, there are two options. You can go to a Lenskart store, traditional physical store, brick and mortar shop, or you can go to their online store. So this is a classic example of a brick and click model. So you can go to the online store. Yesterday we had visited the online store and you can see the different products that they are selling. And in the process, you can take a decision of what you want to buy or not. So that is one type. Now there is the simplest model, the one which we are most familiar with is B2C non-inventory. So this is your classic Amazon type of model, Amazon, Flipkart, this type of thing. So sellers of any product will sign up with Amazon and agree to sell their goods on the site. They will also agree to the conditions laid down by Amazon. So any buyer of any product, when he goes to Amazon, he will basically have in front of him a whole range of products, products and the product which he is interested in, all the sellers of that product will be listed. Each of them will display their product and the person will choose whichever product he likes, and on that basis, he will proceed. Now, if you go to the Amazon web link and you look at the frequently asked questions for sellers, suppose you want to sell with B2C, you're a business, you want to sell, you can see what are the requirements which are there for a business which wants to register on Amazon. So this is the site. I'm just giving you these little links which you can use on your own and have a look at this part. Okay. Now you take the concept of a C2C business model. Consumer to customer. Now, in a customer to customer model, what is happening is the buyer and the seller, both of them are customers. So, Hardik and Anjali, can you think of a site like that, a model like that, where both sides are customers, no business is involved?
OLX.
Okay, so OLX is one model.
Quicker.
Yes.
Quicker.com.
Okay, that's another one. Magic Bricks. That can be another one. Basically, both sides are individuals who suddenly have something which they want to sell, and this site allows them to do that. So
Cart24 also.
Cart24 also, okay. Now, since this is a class on finance, there is like there are certain sites where a customer to customer, what shall I say, model is there where you can buy money, in the sense that one person is giving credit, another person is borrowing, and it is possible for you to actually get credit on an online basis from an individual, not a bank. So are you aware of that model, any of you? Hardik?
No, sir.
Anjali? No. So that is called peer-to-peer lending. So in peer-to-peer lending, what will happen is one site which is running a C2C business, like say Faircent.com, Fairdeal.com, they will allow you to register on the site as either a lender or a borrower. आपको पैसे चाहिए, आप उसमें जाएंगे और यू रजिस्टर एज अ बोरोवर। आपका अपना जो जितना डेटा है क्रेडिट रिलेटेड वो उसको डाल दिया जाएगा उस साइट, कितने पैसे आपको चाहिए सब कुछ उसमें डाल दें। somebody else may register on that as a lender। जो लेंडर है ऑब्वियसली उसका कुछ डिटेल्स वहां पर होगा। आइडिया ये है कि anybody with extra cash who is willing to take the risk of lending on this basis, he can come to this site and he can actually lend money there। वो वहां पर lending का काम वो कर सकता है। It's possible for him to do this। Now, उसमें क्या होगा? The risk is higher, obviously, but the interest rates will also be high। तो अगर आप ऐसे sites में जाके देखेंगे तो you may find that the interest rate charged is 20%, 22%, in some cases even more than that। Why is that the case? Because see, a person who is going to such a site and asking and wants to take money, wants to borrow money, mostly these are people who are too risky for banks। These are people who may be a little too risky for banks, or maybe they have already taken loans from banks। So that creates a problem। And because of that, what happens is that they come here looking for credit। So the person who lends money to them, he is taking a higher risk, a greater risk। So that is also a type of C2C model। Now, the organization which is managing this whole thing, which is providing this facility, like let's say Faircent, they will basically do a credit appraisal of you based on your CIBIL report, based on your social media feeds, all those things। आजकल एक ये भी तरीका है कि अगर आपका स्पेंडिंग पैटर्न मुझे समझना है तो स्पेंडिंग पैटर्न हम समझ सकते हैं आपके फेसबुक से, आपके ट्विटर से। देयर आर एल्गोरिथम्स व्हिच आर देयर जिससे ये पता लगेगा कि आप कौन से प्रोडक्ट रिसेंटली खरीदे हैं। सो मोस्ट people today, when they buy a product, and if they are, I think Anjali's generation is the best example here, you will tend to write about it in social media for your friends। So it is easy to see, our generation doesn't do this, so you will not find out too much about me on social media। हार्दिक आपका
50-50 सर।
50-50, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ आप करते हैं। हमारे वाले कुछ भी नहीं करते। हमारे वाले सुस्त थे, अगर कुछ मिल गया तो बस वो घर में लेके खुश रहते थे। We never went to social media and put it there। But because of the fact that behavior patterns have changed, it is making it possible to understand a person's spending patterns on the basis of the messages or posts which he makes on these different applications। So इन सब को लेके एक कॉम्पोजिट पिक्चर निकल आता है किसी आदमी के क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस के बारे में। is this man credit worthy or not, या इसमें risk level क्या हो सकता है. According to that they fix a rate of interest. और वो जो rate of interest fix होगा, obviously जो site है, they will get a part of that interest. जो lender है, he will get the main part of that. So that is how this model actually works. Now there is one important thing in the context of a business model, and which is also very relevant from the point of view of strategy, which I want to touch, which is called value chain. This concept of a value chain, the moment you see this, you will begin to realize how it is linked with strategy. So from the point of time when a business actually starts till the point where it begins to sell the goods and receive money, that whole chain of activities which takes place from the actual purchase of raw material till the point of time when the actual money is obtained from the buyer, that is your value chain. So if we look at the different aspects, what activities are taking place इस बीच में, जिस वक्त से हमने शुरू किया किसी चीज को प्रोड्यूस करना, उस समय से लेके उसका सेल और एक्चुअली पैसे पाने तक के जितने स्टेप्स हैं, let us look at that. So you start with one. Raw material purchase हो रहा है, you might put it in a warehouse. You will have to purchase the right quantity of raw material. You will process that over here. You will then take steps to sell it. Then you will have to have a warehousing arrangement for your finished goods, from where you will ship the goods to the buyers. उनको भेज देंगे आप, और जब बिक जाएगा, after that you will have to provide after sales service. Now my question to you is, the first thing which you note is what I have written in this yellow oval here, कि value can be added at any stage. किसी भी stage में इसमें हम कुछ ऐसा कर सकते हैं जिससे कि या तो पैसे की बचत होगी, या नहीं तो मेरा सेल्स बढ़ेगा, या नहीं तो कुछ बेटर क्वालिटी हमारा प्रोडक्ट का हो जाएगा. समथिंग कैन हैपन. तो इसमें एनी थॉट्स ऑन दिस, हार्दिक एंड अंजलि? ये कैसे हो सकता है? लेट्स से इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट, हाउ कैन वी डू समथिंग टू, लेट्स से, कट कॉस्ट्स हियर? बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट द सीईओ इज थिंकिंग ऑफ. जो सीईओ होता है, वो जो स्ट्रैटेजी उसका है, this is what the strategy is all about. He has to think these are the different activities which are taking place in my company. What can I do to cut costs, increase sales? दो ही उसके पास में activities. तीसरा activity, what can I do to improve quality? पहला वाला जो है raw materials वाले में, does anything occur to you, हार्दिक और अंजलि?
सर एक ट्राई हो सकता है कि अगर आप रॉ मटेरियल जो आता है वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा यूज होकर प्रोसेसिंग में चला जाए, गोडाउन में मतलब वेयर हाउस में नहीं पड़ा रहे,
तो आप कम से कम आप रॉ मटेरियल खरीदें. बेसिकली यू विल, अगर आपका रिक्वायरमेंट जितना प्रोसेसिंग के लिए है उससे बहुत ज्यादा आप नहीं लेंगे, तो इसमें क्या फायदा आपको होगा?
It could cut down the inventory cost of storage.
It will cut down the inventory cost. Okay. तो इसका जो ultimate होता है, that is the concept of just in time. There is the concept in inventory called just in time inventory, started by I think Toyota company in Japan, in which the idea is that मतलब प्रैक्टिकली घंटे घंटे का हिसाब वहां पर है कि अगर इस एक घंटे में मुझे इतना माल चाहिए तो आई एम अरेंजिंग विथ माय सप्लायर टू हैव दैट मच ऑफ अमाउंट ब्रॉट इन. तो हमारे यहाँ वेयर हाउसिंग का कोई काम है ही नहीं. तो बेसिकली व्हाट दैट अलाउज मी टू डू इज, इट अलाउज मी टू सेल एट अ It cut down my costs completely. Working capital जो हम use करते हैं उसको run करने में वो बहुत कम जाता है. The second part is operations, any process that adds value. तो यहाँ पर हम कौन सा, what will be the strategy here? सोचिए क्या हो सकता है. You are the CEO of the company. सर्कल 2 में आप क्या कर सकते हैं? Can't hear you, Anjali. Anjali, I can't hear you.
Yes, sir. So I was just reading that. I have no idea about how to add value.
Okay. Hardik, any thoughts?
No, sir.
See, यहाँ पे, in my, I am also trying to think this out. Basically, what you can do is you can improve the technological process so that you manage to cut down on the time it takes to make something. अब जो processing time है through technology, you can cut that. That can be one way. You can use technology to improve quality, bring consistency so that all your items, the finished items at the end of the day, all are equally good. So quality controls, processing time, ये सब चीज में अगर आप ध्यान दे सकते हैं, you will finally manage to cut down on costs and improve quality. So those two will ultimately help you in your third activity, which is marketing and sales. Now, marketing and sales वाला जो activity होगा, today we will also look at in detail the sales strategy of one company. Exactly how sales is important and how people actually do things which can increase sales and in that way add value. The fourth one is outbound logistics, warehousing, inventory maintenance, shipping goods to customers. The same principle applies. If I am able to have my finished goods in my godown for the smallest period of time, then I will be able to sell faster, convert the finished goods to cash faster. So if my marketing and sales is very prompt, I am able to sell my goods immediately. At the same time, there should not be a position where the goods are not available to me, the orders have come. Orders मिल गए, लोग हमारे माल को खरीदना चाह रहे हैं, हमारे पास माल नहीं. Now, recently I found out that especially in automobile industry today, if you want to buy certain models of vehicles, let's say you want to buy the SUV Creta from Hyundai. Hyundai का एक मॉडल है Creta. You want to buy a Creta, there is a waiting period of 8 months. 8 महीने का time लगता है. So if this is the case, there is a possibility that you will lose customers. Somebody you wanted to buy, so there has to be a way of cutting down on this. Ideal position is अगर customer आज मेरे पास आए, I should have the goods ready for sale. अगर वो नहीं होता है, then there is room for efficiency. I should be able to figure it out. The last one is service. See, service is important mainly because if I have good service, I will basically be able to build up customer loyalty. If I am known for the service I provide, see, every mechanical product that you sell, like you have a washing machine or a dishwasher or a geyser, AC, at some point of time, they will require service. If the service is easy to get, if it is not very costly, then the service itself can be a very good way of promoting your brand and of making sure that customers become a little loyal to your brand and they recommend your brand to others. So this is one aspect, this value chain aspect. So as you can see, this is also like a model. So since we are speaking of models, this is also like a model, and this is how strategy links with value chain. Now let us go for this business level strategy. Now, Anjali and Hardik, have you heard of this BCG matrix? कभी सुना इसके बारे में?
No sir.
हाँ, BCG के बारे में सुना है कभी? बॉस्टन कंसल्टेंसी ग्रुप, ये एक कंसल्टिंग फर्म है जो काफी दिन से है, अमेरिकन फर्म, और ये लोग बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजी पर लिखते रहते हैं, रिसर्च करते रहते हैं, कुछ कुछ चीज लेके आते रहते हैं. कंपनीज क्वाइट ऑफन यूज बीसीजी टू फॉर देयर एक्सपर्टीज कि हम लोग अपना बिजनेस कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. बीसीजी के लोग आते हैं, रहते हैं वहाँ, एंड दे आर एबल टू डू इट. पर्सनली आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस दिस एट माय ओल्ड बैंक, Punjab National Bank, where we had BCG come to the bank. They stayed with us for at least 6 months. 6 महीने तक वो रहे, हम लोगों से बात किया, हम लोगों का काम करने का तरीका देखा, और ultimately they came out with a whole bunch of recommendations. This is how you can improve. Or I can say that many of those recommendations were pretty good. Now, BCG came out with something known as the growth share matrix. In a minute, you will understand what this is. And it is also known as the BCG matrix. So it is a strategy. इसको समझने के लिए आप क्या करें? You think of a business which is selling many products. You can think of any, like for example, you take a car company. It has different brands. Each brand has a different target market. अलग-अलग है. जैसे अगर एक छोटी गाड़ी कोई बनाता है, कोई मीडियम साइज SUVs बनाता हो, कोई इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स बनाता है, कोई बड़ा लग्जरी कार्स बनाता है. So obviously the customers who are going to actually buy these, they are different. वो अलग-अलग है. Now the thing here is, think of each of these products as a business. Because इनका जो बनाने का जो पूरा जो फैक्ट्री है, जो तरीका है, वो it is independent of the other products. And the customer segments are also different. इस context में let us try to understand how this growth share matrix works, and we will also understand how this can be a major strategy for the company. So this is the traditional way of showing it. I have just made it a little colorful, but basically let us start here. So in this square we have stars, here we have question marks, here we have the cash cow, here we have dogs. What are these? Look at these. On this axis you have growth. यहाँ low growth है, ये high growth है. That means कि ये वाला high growth है, ये low growth. ये वाले axis पर ये जो brown line है यहाँ, this is market share. So ये high market share है, this is low market share. So now if I look at dogs, it is low market share, और इधर से भी देखेंगे तो low growth. So low growth, low market share. ये वाला हो गया high growth, high market share. इसको देखेंगे तो ये high market, ये high growth है but low market share. And if I look at this, I have low growth, high market share. Now, just for the sake of an example, so that you understand it better, I have taken a company which has 4 products. It is an auto company. The star product is the electric car. इसमें growth बहुत हो रहा है. So when we say growth, we are speaking first of all about growth in sales. पिछले साल कितने sales हुए थे as compared with इस साल कितने sales हुए, कितना बढ़ोतरी हुआ इनके sales में. दूसरा है मार्केट शेयर. व्हाट इज मार्केट शेयर, अंजलि और हार्दिक?
A kind of what is the percentage of the product in the market of that particular brand?
Percentage of sales.
Sales.
So if the total sales, if let's say there is in electric cars, the total sales in the market is 1,000 crores of electric vehicles are sold. This company is selling 200. Then you will say that the market share is 20%. So here, this company, what you find is in the star category, the growth, sales growth is very high, and it also has a high market share. This is one category. In the cash cow category, you have the market share is very high, but sales growth is low. We'll see where this happens. And then in the question mark, you have the growth is high, but the market share is low. And in the dogs, everything is low. The growth is low, even the market share is low. That means one very simple thing is, in the case of star, this is my best product. Dogs में this is my worst. इसको या तो निकाल देना होगा या कुछ उसको change करना. So when we speak of the growth share matrix, हम इन दोनों चीज का interplay को देखते हैं, growth and market share. Now let us look at this in a little more detail. Just remember that those squares, the grid, and we can understand it here. So the principle behind the matrix is that the market leadership results in superior returns. Market leadership kab hoga? When will we have market leadership? Hardik, when can I be called market leader?
पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट में जो प्रोडक्ट है उनका सेल सबसे ज्यादा होना चाहिए इन द मार्केट.
ठीक है, तो उसका ये भी मतलब हुआ कि मेरा मार्केट शेयर भी सबसे ज्यादा है. तो मार्केट लीडरशिप के चलते मेरा रिटर्न्स मैक्सिमम होता है. दिस इज व्हाट दिस द प्रिंसिपल इज दिस. कैसे होता है दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन. नाउ how does market leadership lead to superior returns? If you have an idea, you can tell me. Otherwise, we will see it as we move. You want to try, Anjali? How does market leadership lead to superior returns?
Higher market leads to superior return as the product range is high.
No, don't think in terms of product range. Try to think of a single product. You are, let's say, the largest seller of that product. What we are saying is this will lead to superior returns. One simple, so let's understand it through this. What is the meaning of growth? Growth simply means sales this year divided by sales last year. Am I growing or not? What is market share? That we have already discussed. So let us look at this. Company introduces a product. Okay. Naturally, when it introduces the product, it will be competing with other companies who are making the same product. If it has a good product, its market share will increase. Basic principle yahi hai na? If you are selling in the market, if you have a product which the public appreciates, gradually what will happen is your market, more and more people will buy, your market share will increase. As the market share increases, demand jaise jaise badhega, you will begin to produce more. And when you produce more, what is going to happen? You will be able to, you will get what is known as the benefit of economy of scale. इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल का मतलब होता है कि जैसे मेरा स्केल ऑफ ऑपरेशंस बढ़ता है, पर यूनिट कॉस्ट विल गो डाउन. As I begin to produce more and more, my per unit cost will go down because the per unit cost includes the fixed costs. शुरू में हम फैक्ट्री बनाए, I set up the whole industry. It has a capacity, let's say, of 1 million units. If I am only producing 50% of capacity, ये fixed cost जो है ये तो fixed है, ये तो इतना लगेगा ही. But if I am able to, let's say, go up to 90%, 95% of capacity, without increasing the fixed costs, I will have increased my production. तो अगर आप per unit cost देखेंगे, it is going to be lower. So that is known as an economy of scale. Am I getting this clear? Hardik, Anjali,
Yeah.
Lokesh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So ये जो concept है economy of scale का, cost is going to come down. If cost comes down, the profit will increase. आप ऐसे भी सोच सकते हो कि if the company is producing more, it is going to place orders for raw materials and all. इसका जो bargaining power होगा with their supplier, that is going to be better. They will get the same raw material at a lower cost. Because everybody will want to sell to them. They are, after all, the biggest buyer. They are going to get a better deal. So because of the cost advantage, the company will defeat the competition. इससे क्या होगा? They will get a larger market share. Or gradually they will reach that market leadership position and they will consolidate that position. तो एक advantage. Now, इसमें एक चीज और है. If I am looking at a continuous increase in the sales of my product from year to year, 2019 में let's say हमने 100 यूनिट बेचा, 2020 में हमने 120 कर लिया इसको, 2022 में I managed to reach 140. If I want this, then the understanding is that the market also has to support this expansion. Market as a whole has to keep growing. The product has to keep gaining popularity. More and more people should be willing to buy the product. Agar wo nahi hoga, then I may manage to increase market share, but I will not be able to get market growth. I will not be able to get growth. इस चीज को हम और थोड़ा ठीक से समझेंगे. So here I'm giving you a simple example of growth. एक साल में 1000 था, 20 में, 21 में 1200, and I am getting a growth of 20%. Total sales by all companies is 5,000. My market share is 20% in 2020. In 2021, my market share has gone up to 22% because the market itself has expanded. See, is 5,000 or 5,500 क्या बता रहा है कि during the year 2021, more people were actually buying this product. So, market growth अगर नहीं होगा, you will not manage to get very significant sales. Now, ये वाला जो point है, this is something which you need to note, because as a CEO of the company, you want to stay in products जहां market grow कर रहा है. अगर market grow नहीं कर रहा है, then at some point of time your product will begin to lose sales, and you will have to shift that product out of your range. It will go into that dog category, where low growth, low share वाला हिसाब हो जाएगा, and you will have to basically stop production at some point. Now, let us look at another aspect of this. Try to see it through figures. So let's look at a high growth market. Let's take this. इस पर आप सिर्फ just focus on this, the figures here. It will be clear to you. So we are taking 4 companies: company blue, company red, company green, and company yellow. 2019 में कंपनी ब्लू का सेल फिगर था 200, रेड का था 150, ग्रीन का 100 और येलो का 120. टोटल मार्केट साइज था 570. तो 570 लाख जो है इतना बिक्री हुआ था इन द ईयर 2019. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दीज सेल्स फिगर्स मार्केट शेयर हम निकाल लिए हैं. 200 over 570 is 35, 150 over 570 is 26, and 18 and finally 21. ये शेयर्स हैं इन लोगों के डिफरेंट कंपनीज के. 2020 में the market size itself has gone up from 570 to 640. More customers are buying the products, whatever this product is, more and more customers are buying this. What are we seeing then? इसका जो कंपनी ब्लू था, इसके सेल्स काफी बढ़ गए, 20% हो गया, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट इसका मार्केट शेयर भी बढ़ गया. फ्रॉम 35 इट हैज गॉन अप टू 38. कंपनी रेड, इसके सेल्स कम बढ़े 150 से 170. इट्स मार्केट शेयर ऑल्सो इंक्रीज्ड अ लिटिल, 27. द थर्ड कंपनी ग्रीन, इसका ग्रोथ तो अच्छा हो गया and 30%, and its market share has also increased to 20%. Last company has lost. Its sales have actually declined and growth negative हो गया है. Market share इसका 21 हुआ करता था, it has gone to 16. So ये क्यों हुआ होगा? या तो इनकी मार्केटिंग में कुछ कमी आ गई, या नहीं तो इनके प्रोडक्ट में कुछ कमी. So that is the reason why they are losing sales. It can also be because the other companies maybe have become more aggressive about marketing. So in the field of business, it is like a game. What the result is does not depend only on what you do. It also depends a lot on what the other player does. So these are all players operating in the market. तो दूसरा वाला player अगर game आपसे अच्छा खेलेगा, you will lose the match. Something like that has happened with this. But what we can see is that because the market size has grown from 570 to 640, ये जो बाकी तीन companies थे, they are able to give good growth also, and they are able to give good market share also. तो अगर हम Boston वाला वो जो squares था, quadrants उसको बोलते हैं, if we have a look at these, for these companies, their product will be in the star category because it is high growth. At the same time, they have a good market share also. So possibly they are in the star category. They are happy with the product. Now, look at another case. The same companies, but this is a low growth market. Market size is not increasing. Market size has gone down. ये 219 के figures same है, but in the 220, here we had gone up, here we have gone down to 510. As a result of this, even though the market share has increased for company blue, from 38 it has gone to 41. But as far as the growth is concerned, the growth has actually is very nominal, is 5%. For company red, the growth is only 13%, even though market share is not bad. Market share ठीक ठाक है. यहाँ पे 35 से 41 पे चले आए. Red, blue के केस में. Red has gone from 26 to 25. It's still quite significant. But the sales are negative. Why is this happening? Because the full market size has actually gone down. So this is a low growth market. Low growth market का basic meaning ये हो रहा है कि ये जो product है, this product is now obsolete. ये या तो नए products आ गए हैं जो इससे अच्छे हैं, public उनको खरीद रही है. ये वाला product का जो popularity था वो अब कम रहा है. अगर ऐसा होगा, if it is a low growth market, you may gain on market share, but you will not be actually increasing sales too much. This is the point which I was trying to make. It depends on where you are, what type of market you are operating. And if you are operating in a market of this type, then there is a problem for you. So these companies who are operating in a low growth market, they will have to seriously think about quitting this product altogether or stopping this product. If you want to think as an example, think of the old Ambassador car. I don't know, Anjali, have you heard of the Ambassador car?
Yes, sir. I've heard.
देखा है कहीं?
Yes, sir.
So there was a time when this was the main market share. The whole of the India, probably 70-80% of market share was in the hands of this particular Hindustan Motor Company, which made Ambassador cars. Now, gradually what happened is that the market shifted away. From Hindustan Motors' point of view, the Ambassador vehicle became a dog, where everything was low. And the result was that since nobody is buying this product anymore, they had to discontinue the product. They tried to reposition the product by changing the engine and all. Even that didn't work so well. Finally, they have, I think, as far as I know, it is not produced anymore. Okay. So please understand, this is the growth share logic is based on this. If the market is growing, if your sales are growing, you have a star product. Everything is good. If the market is growing, your market share is growing, but there is very low growth, then in that case, you have what is known as a cash cow. In the sense that based on your dominance of the market, you will get sales. Look at this company, Company Blue. Out of 510 in the market, they are actually selling 210. 41% is their share. Lekin growth इनकी नहीं हो रही है. What will this company do? They will try to keep earning money from this product till there are sales. जब तक sales उनके ठीक ठाक चलते रहेंगे, पब्लिक खरीदती रहेगी प्रोडक्ट, तब तक इस प्रोडक्ट को चलाए रखें. और जब एक दिन आएगा जब ये नहीं ठीक होगा, ग्रोथ भी बंद हो जाएगा, मार्केट शेयर भी कमने लगेगा, then they will know that this product is over, growth is actually declining. अब ये हमारा प्रोडक्ट जो है वो डॉग कैटेगरी में चला गया, let us forget about it. So this was trying to explain it to you in this way. अब हमारे पास में, let us try to sum it up. So this company, high growth, high share, जो CEO है वो क्या करेगा इसमें? What is he likely to do? The management will need to maintain its marketing of the product and to take steps to dominate, continue to dominate the market. ये main इसका काम होगा. So strategy इसमें क्या है? You invest more money in this product, maybe in marketing and sales, maybe in actually improving quality. जैसे आपको करना है आप करो, and you continue your domination. High growth, high share. Now, cash cow में, I gave the example of SUV here. Share is high, growth is low. This is an older product. The market has peaked. Market size जो है वो जो अपना टॉप पर आ सकता था वो हो चुका. अब वो डाउन हो रहा है. Gradually लोग SUVs कम खरीद रहे हैं. Now, this is hypothetical. It doesn't mean कि लोग कम खरीद रहे हैं. Company should use it to make as much as it can. आप इसको use करो to get money. और इससे पैसे लेके you shift it here. Invest in the star product. So as a CEO, what you are doing is, you are making sure that this money, you will continue to mint money here. That's why it's called a cash cow. And you will use this to invest here. Now the other category, question marks. Question mark का problem क्या है? High growth, low share. Hardik and Anjali, can you say something here? What is the thing about the question mark?
सर प्रोडक्ट का सेलिंग स्लो हो रहा है उसमें.
हाँ, क्यों लो होता है? What is the reason?
या तो प्रोडक्ट का क्वालिटी या तो फिर अदर कॉम्पिटिटर की वजह से वो सेलिंग स्लो हो रहा है.
हाँ, तो other competitors have a better product than you. भाई तो आपका सेल्स बढ़ तो रहा है.
Yes, sir.
Maybe it is, let's say I have taken the example of electric pickup truck. It's a new product. इसकी market size तो बढ़ रही है. More and more people are coming in to buy this. आपका हिस्सा कम है. Because आपसे better product कोई और बना रहा है. People prefer to go there. Therefore, it raises a question mark. Question mark is, do you want to fix this product through more investment? Or will you say, I cannot handle the competition, I should stop this product? ये बेसिक आपके पास में डिलेमा है कि या तो इसको हम और ठीक कर लें प्रोडक्ट अपना, इतना अच्छा बना लें जो पब्लिक खरीदने लगे इसको, और या नहीं तो हम इसको अब बंद कर दें, इन द सेंस कि अब ये मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट भी वापस नहीं आएगा, हम शेयर लूज करते जाएंगे, वी विल बेसिकली बी इन ट्रबल. सो यू हैव अ प्रॉब्लम देयर. So the management has to decide whether to invest in improving the product or to discontinue. This is up to you. So that is why it is known as a question. And the last one is very easy. These are the dogs, mini car, low. आपका माल बिक नहीं रहा, market size भी बढ़ नहीं रहा. If that is the case, then there are two options for you. One option is that you discontinue the product. Like maybe the ambassador car, you discontinue. Or you find a country, a different market, where people are willing to buy that product. आजकल तो ये कम होता है, लेकिन पहले ये होता था कि वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में जैसे वॉशिंग मशीन्स, what they would do is they would basically initially start the product in the Western market. वहां पे जब मैक्स आउट कर जाता था, बेटर प्रोडक्ट्स आ जाते थे, तो वो थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज में भेज देते थे उस प्रोडक्ट को. So the dogs in the Western country would become the stars in the poorer countries, because यहाँ वो टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी, and they would be able to continue to sell that old product in this country because the technology was not there. But in today's world, that does not happen. In today's world, that doesn't happen for the simple reason that today technology is there across the world. So sales probably happen all across the world at the same time. So it will not be possible for you to take an obsolete product of one country and try to sell it in another country, because वहां भी वो पुराना हो चुका है. So your only option will probably be to discontinue production of that particular product. Now, Lokesh, for you, it will be new from this point on. If you're still with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we will do is, we will take the example. See, strategy, like I said, you can have focus on the product category. Remember the value chain. You can focus on marketing also. So I decided to take this, a case study of Cadbury India and show this to you. So what are the products that they have? This is a very familiar range: 5-star, Bonville, Dairy Milk, and all these, Oreo, all these other brands. All of them are familiar to you. Here I have listed even more. What you can see is that they have a very big range of products. Only thing to note here is the products that they are making have a pretty big range, and the price range is also pretty large. So one conscious decision which the Cadbury people are making is, we will not just have one product, but we will have a whole range of products which are basically directed at different target groups. Now, you take the low priced products, Eclairs, Perk, 5-star. Packing bhi chota, daam bhi sahi, more or less anybody can buy it. So it's available very easily. It's available in rural markets, available in urban markets. हर जगह है ये. Then they are mainly targeted for, this is another group of products. They are targeted for festive seasons, and these products are priced strategically so that customers have an affinity to buy them. इसके gift packs वगैरह भी वो बना लेंगे festive के time में. Now, what is the target market here? Cadbury Bonvita, for example, has been positioned as a must-have for growing children, has been targeted to the parents of small children between age of 2 to 8 years. See, this product, the target market is very clear. ऐसे लोग जिनके छोटे बच्चे हैं, you focus on them. तो जो advertisements होगा, जितने कुछ होंगे यहाँ पर, they are going to focus on this target market. Cadbury Temptations, Bonville are premium chocolates. ये कीमत ज़्यादा है, तो you offer it to higher income customers. Dairy Milk Silk is targeted at millennials and those who cannot resist chocolate. उसका दाम सबसे ज़्यादा है. So you are basically trying to look at different target audiences and you are selling products which are suitable for their purse. Now, broadly अगर आप इसको लेंगे तो you can group it like this. Kids के लिए Dairy Milk, Bonvita, 5-star, Fuse, Tang. Millennials के लिए Silk, Celebrations, Ice Creams. Adults के लिए Bonville, Temptation, Celebrations, Ice Creams. So what the point of target market, remember when we said that in value proposition, one of the things that you have to look for is target audience. आप जिस चीज को बेच रहे हैं, which group do you want to sell it to? तो यहाँ पर you get a clear idea about how Cadbury is doing. Now, let us look at the digital marketing strategy of Cadbury. इसका social media campaign अगर आप देखेंगे, तो this study shows Instagram, Facebook. So 4 products were taken: Dairy Milk Silk, Oreo, Bonvita, Gems. Instagram में photos, Facebook में इसके ये ads वगैरह, जो Facebook page है इसका, total मिला के इतने followers हैं. It's not very great, but this is how they are marketing their product. दूसरा इसका YouTube is a primary medium. YouTube को बहुत use करते हैं. Cadbury India's popular brands on YouTube: Dairy Milk Silk, Bonvita, Perk, and these are the number of followers on YouTube. So you are getting an idea how they are going to do it, how they do this. उसके बाद आप इनका ना marketing campaign, look how they are connecting with the customer. COVID के time में what they do is they come out with an advertisement जिसका baseline is stay home, stay safe. Customer connect की बात हम कर रहे थे ना value proposition में. This is how you connect. You are coming out with a product which is aligned with the marketing, with the times. जिस तरह का जमाना है, कोविड का जमाना है, आपका कैंपेन भी उस चीज को रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है. Now, ये ओरियो का कैंपेन था. डेयरी मिल्क में आप देखिए व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. ये वाला दे आर यूजिंग इवेंट्स टू मार्केट द प्रोडक्ट. ये किस समय आया था? ये आया था वैलेंटाइंस डे. सो हाउ फार विल यू गो फॉर लव? This was the campaign. It is built around Valentine's Day. And the main message is this Valentine's Day, how far will you go for love? उसका एक hashtag बना दिया Twitter पर कि pop your heart out. See, कैसे लोग इसको देखेंगे, which demographic is looking at this is very clear. They are choosing a time, a certain time, to market it at a different level, taking a different industry. आप देखिए अक्षय तृतीया में क्या किस चीज का एड्स मैक्सिमम आता है?
Gold.
गोल्ड
का. So you are using the event to market the product. That same thing is happening here. Here you are, in this Oreo case, you are building up your advertising campaign and connecting with people over the type of problems they are facing today. Stay home, stay safe. Message भी उसी तरह का है. Now we will continue with this. So look at the dairy milk campaign. कुछ मीठा हो जाए. This is a campaign which I think all of us have probably seen and appreciated. क्या कॉन्सेप्ट था कि अगर कुछ अच्छी चीज होती है, if there is an auspicious event, generally अपने कंट्री में हम क्या करते हैं, we distribute sweets. What is Cadbury doing? ये sweets के जगह अपने chocolates को ला रहा है, and it is trying to position dairy milk as a sweet that can be consumed during happy or auspicious moments. See, वो लीक तो बना हुआ है, ऑलरेडी वो लीक है, जहां हम ऐसे मौकों पर मिठाइयां खाते हैं. What they are doing is they are taking advantage of that to sell their own product. This is the marketing strategy. So this is a way of connecting with your target
audience.
And this is value creation through marketing. इस वे में आप अपने प्रोडक्ट को, आप जो कनेक्ट लोग आपके साथ किए, आपका प्रोडक्ट खरीदने लगे, यू हैव क्रिएटेड वैल्यू. और वैल्यू इसलिए भी कि ये इतना सुंदर बना हुआ था, ये टैगलाइन कुछ मीठा हो जाए, कि दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच हैज कम इनटू डे टू डे कॉन्वर्सेशन. लोग आपस में बात करते हुए भी ये यूज कर लेते हैं कि कुछ मीठा हो जाए. इवन दो दे मे नॉट बी कैडबरी, बट दैट टैगलाइन वाज सो गुड कि वो अपना एक जगह बना लिया हमारे लाइफ. दैट इज हाउ यू कनेक्ट. नाउ लुक एट अनदर एस्पेक्ट, इनोवेटिव वेज ऑफ मार्केटिंग एंड बिल्डिंग द ब्रांड. सो आई ऑल्सो चोज द कैडबरी कलर, द पर्पल कलर. उसी को चुन लिया बिकॉज आई थॉट कि लेट मी ऑल्सो stay with the times here. They came out with this social initiative called the wrapper that gives. उसमें कॉन्सेप्ट क्या था कि आप अगर डेयरी मिल्क खरीदते हैं, उसके रैपर का फोटो आप लीजिए, you will get 1 GB of mobile data. या तो आप खुद रख लीजिए उस डेटा को, or you donate that to the Pratham Education Foundation and to needy schools in rural areas. See, what they are doing is they are very nicely giving you a chance to be charitable. They are connecting their company with the cause of rural education. And according to the data, they were able to actually fulfill the data requirements of 120 schools in rural Maharashtra. जिस एरिया में ये पॉपुलर हुआ होगा, they were able to actually do this. See, this is another innovative way of building up your brand. अब जो लोग इसमें शामिल हुए होंगे और हम लोग जो इसके बारे में पढ़े, you begin to feel कि हाँ भाई कैडबरी तो अच्छा काम किया है. That is the whole idea. Now, here is another innovation. So, another opportunity to show generosity was when COVID hit. ये क्या किए कि एक लिमिटेड एडिशन डेयरी मिल्क का निकाले, थैंक यू बार. इसमें आइडिया क्या था कि इससे जो प्रॉफिट्स आएंगे, अ पार्ट ऑफ दीज प्रॉफिट्स विल बी यूज्ड टू फंड हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसीज ऑफ डोमेस्टिक वर्कर्स. जो डोमेस्टिक वर्कर्स हैं, घर पे काम कर रहे हैं, उनका कोई इंश्योरेंस नहीं है, they cannot afford premiums. तो इन लोगों ने कहा कि ठीक है भाई, हम अपने प्रॉफिट्स में से we will do this. कनेक्ट कर दिया उसको विद डेयरी मिल्क का लिमिटेड एडिशन के साथ. What happens with, इसमें क्या किया, they partnered with an NGO and Z Network to say thanks to the unsung heroes of the lockdown. और इनको उस तरह से थैंक्स भी दे दिया. क्या हुआ, they sold 15 million bars, sponsored health insurance for 15,000 workers. ये तरीके हैं of taking your company and linking it with something which is socially relevant और जो लोग आपको याद करें. This is the whole concept behind this. Now, so I'm writing it here, associating the brand with a social initiative like donating data or health insurance helps to build up a positive image of the company. Now, we have another innovation example here. This was, अगर आप YouTube में जाके ये देखेंगे ना, it's काफी इंटरेस्टिंग है. कैडबरी का कैंपेन था, कौन बनाएगा हमारी अगली कैडबरी, कौन बनाएगा हमारी अगली कैडबरी. So what they were doing is, they were saying anybody who wants to make a new Cadbury flavor, वो एक वीडियो बनाए, कौन सा फ्लेवर चाहते हैं, वो हमारे पास भेज दीजिए, and we will pick the best. आप उस फ्लेवर का नाम भी एक दे सकते हैं. And people got involved, और उस पूरे प्रोसेस में they were able to get short videos showcasing how multiple consumer cohorts, माने groups, went about making their own version of Cadbury. So क्या हो रहा है? You are once again using this method of promoting your product and also building up a customer base. This is what marketing strategy should be able to do. This is the whole idea here. Now, making customers feel that they matter by allowing them to make suggestions about the flavor of the next category and name of the flavor. These are ways of connecting. So, any thoughts about this? Uske baad we move to our next part, and then we will go for the quiz.
No, sir.
But you are
no, sir.
But see, the thing here is, what I would suggest is, try to find another company. You will find lots of stories. If you can find some, strategy made by a different company to sell its products, I would love to see you present it to me maybe next time. थोड़ा सा आप लोग भी नेट देखो, देख के you will understand this concept better. So this was a marketing strategy. Other strategies can be about, let's say, innovation. It can be about products. उन सब चीजों के बारे में हो सकता है. You can please try to have a look at this and then proceed from there. So now, let us take another classic case here. So this is not a case study, what I am saying here. This is the theory. What are we studying here? Strategies for increasing market share. And this is the last topic on this unit. After this, we will be moving to unit 2. Okay, so market share, like we just saw in the BCG matrix, this is a big thing for all companies, कि हम कैसे market का एक बड़ा chunk अपने हिस्से में ले आए. How do we manage to get a larger share of the market? तो इसमें दो aspects हैं. One is, of course, increasing or maintaining your current share in the market. दूसरा है कि अगर आपको competitive रहना है, if you are going to remain competitive, it is not enough to maintain your share. You will have to keep growing a little. नहीं तो बगल वाला जो player है, वो थोड़ा आगे निकलते चलेगा. और अगर कोई और market को dominate कर लिया, तो like we said, he will be getting superior returns. He will change the price of the product. He may be lower the price. You will not be able to compete. So increasing market share is crucial. Involves gaining a bigger share than you have already. That would indicate that your growth is greater than average and you are outperforming your competition. See, अगर आपका market share बढ़ रहा है, तो इसका मतलब है कि आपका growth जो है वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो रहा है और लोगों से के comparison में, and at the same time competition से better आप कर रहे हैं. So this is the moment you say market share, ये implied है कि growth भी आपका better हो रहा है. So the higher the market, the higher the sales and profits, and the greater the value that the company has. इस चीज में ऑलवेज याद रखिए, जब भी हम वैल्यू की बात यहाँ पे करते हैं, तो when we say the greater the value the company has, we are talking about the value of the company as a whole, which is basically the value of the shares of the company. Shares of the company are sensitive to the sales of the company. अगर sales company की हो रही है, profit अगर उसका बढ़ रहा है, तो उसके शेयर प्राइसेस भी बढ़ेंगे, और अगर शेयर प्राइसेस उसके बढ़ेंगे तो उसका वैल्यू भी धीरे धीरे बढ़ेगा. दैट इज द लॉजिक. तो आप अगर मार्केट शेयर अपना बढ़ाते हैं, सेल्स और प्रॉफिट्स आपके अगर बढ़ जाते हैं, तो कंपनी की वैल्यू भी साथ साथ बढ़ेगी. पहला स्ट्रैटेजी होता है इसमें इनोवेशन. ऐसा इनोवेशन जो कस्टमर्स को अट्रैक्ट करे. अब इसके कई तरीके हो सकते हैं. You can, have new technology. Maybe you develop a new technology. और आप उस नए प्रोडक्ट को, इस नए टेक्नोलॉजी वाले प्रोडक्ट को उस समय लॉन्च करते हैं जब आपके पास में कोई कंपटीशन नहीं है. कैन यू थिंक ऑफ अ एग्जांपल? इस तरह का कोई कंपनी कोई नई चीज लेके आती है, जब वो चीज मार्केट में लॉन्च करती है तो फिर उसका कोई जोड़ा नहीं है, कोई और है नहीं मार्केट में उस चीज को बेचने वाला. ये कंपनी आती है, नेचुरली इट इज गोइंग टू डोमिनेट. तो इनोवेशन के चलते मे बी इन द बिगिनिंग दे हैव 100% मार्केट शेयर ऑफ दैट प्रोडक्ट.
Yes.
एनी एग्जांपल?
सर कोलगेट का सॉल्ट टूथपेस्ट.
कोलगेट का सॉल्ट टूथपेस्ट, ओके, ठीक है. उस कैटेगरी में डेफिनेटली इट वुड हैव बीन. और किसी का सॉल्ट टूथपेस्ट आया नहीं था उसमें. ओके, आई विल गिव यू अ प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम माय टाइम. पुराने दिनों से सोनी का ना एक प्रोडक्ट आता था. इट यूज्ड टू बी कॉल्ड वॉकमैन. सोनी
Yes, sir. Walkman.
वॉकमैन क्या होता था, लोकेश, कुछ आइडिया?
Yes, sir. To hear songs. To
एक
hear
छोटा सा
songs.
कैसेट होता था.
The small reels like cassette.
हाँ, वो रील वाला कैसेट होता था. हमारे
Like
टाइम में तो वही था.
yes, sir. Like tape recorder, which cassette?
हाँ, yes. So
Short size
small
of a
tape
tab.
record.
Yes, sir. Small tape recorder.
So the Sony, the company which invented it, इसका नाम वॉकमैन कैसे पड़ा? They are Japanese,
they
they
can-
don't know English.
They can carry it while walking.
हाँ, they can carry it while walking. So जब उसके मार्केटिंग वाले से पूछा गया, he said Walkman, and a man who can walk with my product, so he called it Walkman. जो सुना इसको कहा कि that is such a lovely name, इसका ब्रांड ही का नाम दे देते हैं Walkman. So it became Walkman. Now the point is, जब तक वो प्रोडक्ट नहीं आया था, तब तक लोग जानते भी नहीं थे कि इसके इतनी जरूरत है. Once the product came, suddenly all of us wanted to own the product. Everybody who could afford it, they managed to buy a Walkman. तो उस समय इसका आप इमेजिन करो, because of this innovation, in this particular product market, their share was 100%. So that is one way of increasing market share. उसके धीरे धीरे और लोग आने लगेंगे, other companies will enter the picture, and as more companies enter the picture, what will happen is gradually your market share will go down, but you will continue to dominate if you continue to keep improving the product. Okay, another very simple example is Maruti. Maruti 800 जब आया था, that was innovative for India. It was able to get the market like anything. और वो जो domination उसका था, वो आज भी है. It continues to be the market leader. Now, so consumers excited about the technology buy it, use it, and can become repeat customers. Innovative technology can build a company's customer base with consumers new to the industry as well as consumers who leave another company for it. तो दो तरह के लोग आपके पास आए. कुछ ऐसे लोग जो कि आज तक ये प्रोडक्ट खरीदे नहीं थे, और कुछ ऐसे लोग जो कि हो सकता है ये प्रोडक्ट खरीदते हो लेकिन आपके कंपनी के नहीं खरीदते, वो उस कंपनी को छोड़ के आपके यहाँ आके आपका प्रोडक्ट खरीदने लगे। तो ये जो हाई वैल्यू इनोवेशन है ये कहीं भी हो सकता है, प्रोडक्ट में भी हो सकता है, इट कैन बी इन मार्केटिंग ऑल्सो, एज वी जस्ट सॉ इन द कैडबरीज केस. Ultimately, this will add value and it will increase market share. This is number one. दूसरा way, second way of increasing my market share will be through customer loyalty. तो इसमें basically हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are trying to make sure that once a customer deals with us, he does not leave. So customer loyalty is equal to customer retention. अगर कस्टमर मेरा लॉयल है, क्या होगा? आने वाले दिनों में भी वो हमसे खरीदते रहेगा. He will not go to my competitor. I can recall, from the older generation, especially my parents and all, they were very loyal. अगर एक ब्रांड कोई वो ले ली, they would never shift. So my mother was a fan of Colgate. All her life she used Colgate. Customer loyalty was taken to the extreme in her case. Now, in today's world, you will have to keep connecting with customers to make sure that they are loyal. Keep providing a range of products. Keep providing better services. Connection का तो Cadbury वाला example बहुत simple है. It's a very good way of understanding how even a brand of chocolate can connect with people. दूसरा क्या होता है कि loyal customers can sometimes share ideas for innovation. That was there also in the Cadbury, where they encouraged customers to come out with new flavors, to suggest names for those flavors. So innovation हो रहा है with the help of the customer. और भी बहुत कुछ smart companies करती हैं to increase loyalty. वो आपको email, messages सब भेजते रहेंगे. वो आपको loyalty cards देंगे, loyalty discounts देंगे, membership number देंगे. They make you feel special. कि भाई आप हमारे लिए माने रखते हैं, stay with us. अगर आपका membership number नहीं है, every time you go to Reliance, वो पहला सवाल आपसे पूछता है,
membership card है कि नहीं?
कार्ड है या नहीं? Do you have a card? एक सुंदर सा कार्ड आपको दे दिया जाएगा. What are they trying to do? वो reward points उसमें होंगे. क्रेडिट कार्ड कंपनीज देखिए रिवॉर्ड पॉइंट्स कितना अच्छा से आपको देते रहते हैं. तीसरा जो फैक्टर है इज स्किल्ड एम्प्लॉइज. दिस पॉइंट विल सी द स्किल ऑफ एन एम्प्लॉय विल रिफ्लेक्ट एवरीवेयर. अच्छे लोग हैं आपके पास, अच्छा प्रोडक्ट आपका बनना है. अच्छे लोग हैं तो मार्केटिंग इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी गुड. अच्छे लोग हैं तो इनोवेशन भी होगा. So, आप अगर सैलरी उस तरह का दे सकते हैं, it is going to happen. Service industry में you will find that this is the most important. Banks में, hotels में, consulting में, everything depends on how good you are. Because आपका जो interface है with your customer, वो सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है. Now, advertising, customer connect, market share, इसको repeat करना, I don't think is necessary. Because we just saw that whole Cadbury ad in which we saw how through advertising and innovation, they are able to build up their brand by connecting with customer, by connecting with social causes. And as they build up their brand, they build up their market. एक नियम इसमें है कि no matter which advertising media is used, आप एक continuity रखिए, डिजाइन में, वॉइस में, मैसेज. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो रेडियो में कुछ बोल रहे हैं, टीवी में कुछ और बोल रहे हैं और सोशल मीडिया में कुछ तीसरा चीज बोल रहे हैं. Say the same thing, repeat the same message. That is crucial. Or target the right market. All good companies will maintain visibility. वो repeatedly ads वगैरह देते रहेंगे to maintain this. तीसरा जो एक बहुत simple way है of increasing customer loyalty, but it is not easy, is to reduce price. See, ultimately, all of us are sensitive to price. अगर quality में compromise नहीं होता है and price comes down, people will leave a standard product and buy the lower cost product. So it's a solid strategy, but there is a limit to the strategy because prices beyond a certain point up come nahi kar sakte. Referral program एक और concept होता है. I don't. You're aware of a referral program. अगर आप customer बढ़ा देते हैं तो you get a reward.
पहले फोन पे गूगल पे देता है.
हाँ, yes, like that. I have an account with South Indian Bank. They have this referral here. They will give me something if I can. In fact, as far as referral is concerned, even Neeraj ji has a referral. If I can increase the number of students, I will get an incentive.
Okay.
So even he has. So referrals are another way of trying to, let's say, improve loyalty. And so that is another way. We have already done this, which companies use it. So basically, we have more or less reached the end of this particular unit. I hope it has left you with a good idea about the basic concepts in strategy and how companies actually do this. Now what we will do is, I will on WhatsApp, I will put a quiz on WhatsApp. It will be a document, Word document. What I want you people to do is, you take that quiz and you can maybe download the Word file, and after downloading it, you can mark the answers in one color. It's a multiple choice thing. So mark the answers in one color, and then you upload that file on WhatsApp with your name. Just put your name, upload it on WhatsApp. So at least I'll be able to know how many you got correct. And then we can, if you do it, it is 7, let's say I send it to you in about 2-3 minutes. If you send it back to me in 10-15 minutes, we can look at how many marks you got on that. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes to just send it to you. Just sending it, guys. The file actually was a little. Okay, so I'm sending this on FM, FMB2. Okay, so Just color the right option and send it back to me. Okay, I've just sent it. Just see whether you've received it or not.
Received, sir.
Okay, so there are 20 questions. You should manage to do it in 10-15 minutes. Once you finish, just let me know and send it back to me so that I can, or we can do a self-correction also. That is also possible. What I will do is, you guys start. शुरू कर लीजिए आप लोग.
Okay. Sir, I think there is no question in the number 3.
Number 3, that's a mistake. Just continue. But don't change the number.
Okay. Sir, one small request. I am actually listening this class on mobile. I don't. I do not
Okay, in
have
that
any
case,
option
in that case, what we will do is,
Sir.
you do it. Just write the responses on a piece of paper.
Okay. I
One
will
to be like
put
that.
a pic of that. Sir. Okay.
You can, and you can just send a photo of that.
Thank you.
Just write 1A, 2C, 3B, whatever you want.
Okay, thank you.
Question 6, you have to write the word, actual word.
Okay.
I'll be back in 5 minutes. Huh?
Okay, sir.
हाँ भाई हुआ.
Sir, 2 minutes.
Yes, हो गया आपका.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. हाँ, so take your time. No problem. हार्दिक चल रहा है. हार्दिक.
Sir, 2 minutes.
Okay, नहीं, take your time. I was just checking. ठीक है. Okay. So we can do a self correction also. तो आप लोग आपके हार्दिक भेज चुके क्या?
सर
व्हाट्सएप पे भेज दिए?
हाँ सर व्हाट्सएप पे भेज दिया।
अच्छा चलो मैं उसको
Sir,
देख।
1 minute, 1 minute.
ओके हार्दिक आप अपना ना काउंट करते जाओ कितना सही है आपका।
I also finished, sir. Should I put the pick or?
हाँ तो आप लोग दोनों ना यू टेक योर ये अपना अपना शीट अपने सामने रख लो, कीप इट विथ यू एंड आई एम रीडिंग द करेक्ट आंसर्स। 1A, 2B, 3 blank, 4A, 5B, 6 का करेक्ट आंसर इज कंपिटेंसी। Okay, 7C.
One second. If competency can be the type of process, sir.
We'll discuss it later. पहले ये लिख लो।
Okay, sir.
7C, 8 का B and C,
Okay.
9B, 10B, 11C,
Sir, 10.
B for ball.
Okay.
11C, 12B, 13 false, 14 true,
Okay.
15B,
Okay.
16A,
Okay.
17 true,
Sir.
18B, 19A, 20C.
Okay.
कितना नंबर मिला?
Is 3
12
wrong.
sir।
हाँ
12 करेक्ट है सर।
12 are correct और ये लोकेश आपका
3 wrong, sir. 3 wrong.
3 are wrong. So 16 out of 90. Okay, now let us discuss those. जो आपका जो गलत हुआ या जिसमें डाउट है, एक तो गलती हो जाती है सिंपल। सो हार्दिक 1 you got correct.
यस सर।
2
करेक्ट सर।
2 correct. 4 में
Correct.
क्लोज एंड अपैरेल्स दोनों आदमी का करेक्ट है।
यस सर।
ओके 5 का
करेक्ट है सर।
करेक्ट। 6 competency. हाँ now what was your point? ये
Sir, I'm asking whether this type of process I can write it.
whether
Competent process or improving the process, sir. Competency means already here it is written like resources capabilities, no, sir. I
Right.
thought like
See, when we were discussing this topic, if you look, I'll send you the slide. Now today I'll send you the PPT. Basically, competency is cross-functional integration. That means you have the ability to produce, to market, to continually, like जितने functions आपके, each of the parts of the company are working together in complete synergy to produce the product. That is the meaning of competency.
okay.
Okay, now 7 ka anybody got it wrong?
No, sir.
मी सर।
Actually, it is Apple. Na? See,
Yes, sir. Apple.
the company which has relied the most on innovation right from the beginning is Apple. तो वो एक तरह से ना एक synonym है उसके लिए. Now, what is the strategy followed by Maruti? इसका basically ये दोनों है B and C, pricing, after sales service and wide sales network. Then the basis of a financial asset is कोई किसी की गलती हुई है इसमें?
Nice.
नो सर।
Okay. COVID-19 क्या है? Systematic risk.
सिस्टमेटिक।
Okay, ठीक है. Company A का problem है, it is therefore unsystematic risk. See, if it is a company specific problem, it will be unsystematic because it is something which is not part of the system as a whole. It is something which only applies to that particular company. Achha, diversification is used to reduce which type of risk? Unsystematic.
Unsystematic.
You cannot reduce systematic risk.
Yes, sir.
So systematic risk can be insured against. Can you have a risk for systematic risk? No, you can't. तो ये एक आपका हो गया. Mutual fund uses diversification. Yes. See, एक mutual fund में sometimes 50, 60, 70 companies में वो invest करती है. जो पैसे हम लोग देते हैं mutual funds को, they invest it in such a large number of companies. So definitely, in this particular case, diversification is true. How can a manufacturing company use diversification as a strategy? I think both of you would have got this correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
16 में कोई गलती? No.
No,
It is
no.
corporate. ठीक है. 17 में?
Sir, I am little bit confused in 17.
Actually क्या है हार्दिक? Value proposition में आप ये बोलते हैं इसको customer को कि this is what our product does for you. This is what we do for you. If you look at examples of many mission statements, now it is exactly like a value proposition. They will tell you what the company does for you. Particularly in service-oriented companies like Amazon, the mission statement reads just like a value proposition. आपको ना इस PPT में मैं भेज दूंगा, आप देखना उसको. Okay. Freemium मॉडल में कोई गलती किसी से?
नहीं सर.
नहीं सर.
ठीक है. ओके. ये C2C भी सही हो गया होगा?
99 acres.
99 acres. और BCGC भी सही होगा?
हाँ सर.
अभी बोला.
In that case, I think you have made some silly mistakes. I think if you have not got 20 in this. See, इसमें ना गलती को acceptable हम किसको मानते हैं? Those which are factual based. So maybe I will not be aware that the largest sales in digital is clothes and apparel. This is something which I also did not know completely. I checked it out today and found out. Since we were talking about business models, e-commerce, I thought, let me see which is the type of product which has the highest sales in business. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Every unit, we will be having at least one quiz. And when the units are longer, we will have more so that there is a chance to keep coming back to the course. Now, what I will do is, I will make a PDF file of this PPT and I will send this to you. What I strongly suggest is, as additional reading, try to look at the internet for the strategy adopted by bigger companies. It will give you a very good idea about the different types of strategy which companies use and which I think will help you to further understand this whole unit better. So I hope your understanding of this whole area is a little better because of our interactions. And we will end this here, and next week we will start with the second unit. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Good night.